Hey everyone, Nick here again from CPAT Reviews. Thanks for tuning in to another one of my little videos. Today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about some new products we have called the Pilot 12 Plus and the Pilot 24 Plus battery systems from MediStrom. These are great little battery systems. You can use them for backup power if you have an outage, or you can also use them as portable power stations, so you can go camping and boating and do all those things where you might not have access to your standard AC power supply. So they come in two versions. You got the Pilot 12 Plus and the Pilot 24 Plus, and the difference between them both is the voltage. So the 12 stands for 12 volts, 24 stands for 20 volts. And the reason you got your different voltages, because different machines, different manufacturers have different voltages that they run on. So your 12 volt battery is going to be great for your Philips DreamStation, your System 1, your System 160 series, whereas your Pilot 24 Plus is going to be great for your ResMed S9 and your AirSense 10 and your little Air Mini, because those machines are run on 24 volts, okay? Basic 24 volt battery goes to a 24 volt machine. But in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the boxes, talk to you about what's in them, and then I'm going to show you how they work with the machines, give you a few pointers, give you a few tips how to look after them, and we'll just go from there, hey? And then maybe afterwards I'll show you where you can pick them up from and maybe throw in a little cheeky discount code for you as well. Alright, so let's start with the 12 Plus. Like I said, great for Philips machines. So if you've got a DreamStation, perfect, System 160 series, that sort of thing. They also work with the little Z1, that's a little 12 volt machine as well, so pretty handy for these sort of machines. And with these travel machines, they do last a lot longer than your full size ones, so the batteries are gonna run for longer on a single charge. But let's open it up and have a sticky beak, shall we? Alright, so they come really well packaged up and really well boxed up. You got your manuals, which are obviously pretty handy if you want to have a read through them instead of listening to me just babble on. Comes in a lovely little suede bag here. You pull it out, and this is your little battery system there. So you can see it's quite small. It's actually very light as well. It's only about 800 grams, so really quite light and portable. On the front here you have your business end, so this is where all the magic happens. So you got your charge, where you obviously charge it up, on-off switch, little LED indicators that tell you how much charge you've got. USB output, really handy charging up phones. Anything with USB you can charge up there. There's your DC output. So your DC output, where you're going to run the power going out of the battery into your machine with the little DC cable that comes with it. And then you got here a little light, which is, I guess if you're camping, pretty handy, or you're in a blackout, maybe it's pretty handy too. You can press this little LED light and you got a little torch there if you need it, okay? So that's your little battery system. If we lift that out of the box here, alright, I'll just place that over there for now. You got a bunch of cables in here. So these are your DC cables and also your charging cables, so your AC charger. So let's pull that out. So this is your AC charge cable to charge the battery up. Charging time about 3.5 hours from flat to full. If you're not using your battery, you charge it up, you put it in the cupboard or wherever you're going to put it, somewhere nice and cool. And then every 6 months you need to charge it up, because if you leave it there too long, it's going to damage the cells. The battery's not going to last as long. Alright, but that's your charger. You can charge it with DC, so that means 12 volt supply, like plugging into a cigarette port in your car or your motorbike or your caravan. You have to purchase that cable separately. It looks like this, okay, but at the same sort of time frame, 3.5 hours, you can charge it from those sorts of 12 volt places. Alright, moving on. This cable here is your DC cable. They're all labelled. It says cable for Respironics System 160 and DreamStation. So that's your DreamStation cable and your System 160 series cable. That's the cable you use to run between your battery and your actual machine, okay? DC cable. It also comes with this other little cable, which has a few little adapter tips in it. Right, so this is, perhaps you've got like an older style Philips machine or something like that, or you've got a Z1. This cable's not going to fit, so you can use these little adapter tips, plug it in this one, and then it's going to be able to fit into your other machines, okay? So you get this little other cable as well. So that's your 12 volt one there. Now I'm going to show you the 24 one. It's a little bit different in that it doesn't have your AC charger with this one, because you actually use your machine cable to charge the battery, okay? And I'll show you that now. But same sort of stuff, manual. Battery's the same, it looks the same, it's got the same, buttons at the front and everything like that. So I'll get that out. Alright, so it looks all nice and pretty. at the front there's all your stuff again. But this time, in the cable section, you don't have that charger, okay? So what we have here is, I'll run through them quickly. This one here is cable for ResMed AirSense 10. AirSense 10, you got it, use that one. Cable for ResMed S9, there's your S9 cable. And this one is output cable for ResMed AirMini. So there's your AirMini cable, okay? So basically what you got is, yeah, these are all your DC cables, but when you're actually charging the battery, you're using, if you've got an AirSense 10, using your AirSense 10 power block, you're just gonna plug it into the charge port, okay? If you've got an S9, it has this little adapter in here. Your S9 power cable that you normally have plugs in there, and then this end here is going to go into the charge port, okay? So pretty basic. Whatever power supply you're currently using, you're going to then use that to charge the battery. So it's not going to come with this block thing that you get with the 12 volt version, okay? So let's talk about charging and discharging simultaneously. So you can run this battery in between your wall and your CPAP, so that if there's an outage, you're good to go. So basically, to do that, it's pretty simple. You run your standard CPAP power supply into the charge port, and then where it says DC out, you run your DC cable into your machine. And then basically what happens is that charge is going from your wall, it's running into the charge of the machine and then the battery, and then it's running out of the battery and into your CPAP. So if the wall socket goes out, you've still got a lot of charge in this battery, so that's going to then be able to power your CPAP unit. So it's going to keep kicking on without you sort of skipping a beat. Whereas if you've currently just got it plugged into the wall and then straight into your CPAP machine, if the power goes out, obviously your CPAP machine goes out. So that's how you do it that way. Whereas if you're using it as a portable power supply, obviously all you do is you just choose the correct DC cable. So like, I'll give you a little live example. Let's just take our little AirMini cable here. We're gonna whack that to on, little on switch there. We're gonna plug the little yellow part of the cable, it's only gonna fit in one way, into the DC out. The other end's gonna plug into our little AirMini here, like so, push it all the way in, and then she's gonna turn on and be ready to pump, ready to rock and roll. Right, you'll hear it. Obviously, there's not always that loud, but there's no plug on the end of that, so away she goes, okay? So, and you're going to be, you know, filled up with your sweet pap. Alright, so that's how easy it is though. Look, you know, and I'll give you a demonstration with the S9 as well now. So I'll just pull out this here, grab my S9 cable, there she blows, whack it into the output. The other end's going to go into the old S9, still kicking along these bad boys. And there she goes, she's turning on. And I'll see if I can get some sweet tune going for you as well here. Yeah, here she goes. Just takes a little while, reading SD card, getting the data all sorted. Alright, here she goes. Please wait, loading, come on, load up. Must be a fair bit of data on this damn thing. Alright, here she goes. Away she goes. Alright, and then you're running. So that's your power system there. Now, let's talk about, you know, people always want to know how long it's going to last on a single charge, and that it's very difficult because different pressures are going to, you know, consume more juice and things like that. If you're using it with a humidifier, you know, you get different humidification settings, different pressure settings, and if you're going to use it with a humidifier, it's going to bring the usage time down a lot. So you're probably looking at, you know, between 5 to 8 hours with your humidifier, depending on what setting it's on. Whereas without a humidifier, we mark it as a 1 to 2 days. So normally between 12 to 16 hours, it's going to last on a single charge. If you're on a nice low pressure, it's going to last longer. If you're on a really high pressure, it's going to be at that lower end of the scale. But just think of it as a 1 to 2 nights, okay? And that's the best sort of estimate I can give you, because there's just so many settings, different machines, all that stuff. It's very hard to give you an exact number on the usage. But real cool, real handy, and pretty good price point as well. I mean, you can pick them up for around the $415 mark. Retail in Australia is $485. Like I said, you pick up for $415. It comes with everything included, your DC cables, And the great thing is, like, you might have an S9 at the moment and you want to upgrade to an S10 and maybe get an Air Mini. We package them up so that they've got all the cables in them. You know, they've got everything in them, so that way if you're buying the 24 volt one, you know that it's going to work with your ResMed, and if you upgrade further down the line, you'll be able to pick up a new DC cable unless they change the voltage at some point in time. But for the last 3 machines been 24 volts. Same with the 12 volt system. You've got a Philips Dream, like System 60 series, and you're wanting to upgrade to a DreamStation. You're going to get those cables in there, so the battery's going to be able to, you know, keep going with you. And Philips have always been 12 volts, so you can get a new Philips when they bring out the DreamStation 2, and then just get a new DC cable, plug it in, and away you go. Batteries last about 500 cycles before they start to taper off and die a bit, but 500 times, you know, you could use that nearly every day for the next 2 years, and it's gonna give you good value. So 500 cycles is a lot of cycles, so the longevity is really good. As with all batteries, you don't want to let them get in scenarios where they're in extreme cold or extreme heat, so don't leave it in your car if you're, you know, baking out in the Australian sun. Or same thing again, if you're going up to Mount Hotham, make sure, you know, you pack it in with your blankets or whatever, so that you're not getting it in extreme cold. Batteries don't like to be left uncharged for long periods of time, so when you're not using it, you charge it up, you chuck it away like I said before, and then make sure you put something in your phone or in your calendar so that you bring it out every 5-6 months, charge it up again, get some juice going, even use it once of the night, and then chuck it back in there. It's going to mean your battery's going to last longer. And it also means that, you know, it's not going to just, die on you when you're out in the bush using it on a night. Alright, so I think I've covered most bases there. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video of where you can buy it from. Disclaimer, I am involved with CPAP batteries, so there's a bit of a conflict there. But at the same time, we're going to offer you great advice, great price. And if you use the coupon code POWER, P-O-W-E-R, you're going to get an extra 5% off, okay? So that's just a little gift, if you will, to you. You know, we express ship around Australia, and we obviously know what we're talking about. So check out that stuff, and we've got a few other products on there as well on that website, cpapbatteries.com.au. I'll put the link in below there. As always, thanks for tuning in to another the video. I really appreciate you watching them all. If you got any comments or you got any questions, chuck them in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel, and as always, I hope everything's going well with your CPAP therapy. And once again, have a good weekend. Thank you. Bye.